of compassion, skillfulness of perhaps wisdom, action, compassionate action, being present, being able to relieve suffering in the world. Whether these stories are meant to be taken at face value or not, they're stories that we lean on, that we can use in our daily lives. At the time these stories were written, there may not have been a lot of literacy in the world. And so it's useful to tell a great story about a great compassionate being to maybe relieve the suffering of, everyone or tens of thousands of people. And stories like that would spread and are memorable so that folks could remember them and then call on those in their mind and in their daily lives, in their daily practice to bring that present. And that's what I would encourage you to do. Is think about these in ways that you can, or are able to bring these aspects out in yourself when needed. Perhaps when compassion is needed, you can think of Avalokiteshvara or Manjushri when you need a little bit of wisdom. And you can manifest that part of yourself. I invoke your name, Manjushri. I need a little bit of wisdom. I need a little bit of action, as we heard last week with Jesus talking about Samantha Bhakti. Thank you. We invoke your name, Avalokiteshvara. We aspire to learn your way of listening in order to help relieve the suffering in the world. You know how to listen in order to understand. We invoke your name in order to practice listening with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will sit and listen without any prejudice. We will sit and listen without judging or reacting. We will sit and listen in order to understand. We will sit and listen so attentively that we will be able to hear what the other person is saying and also what is being left unsaid. We know that just by listening deeply, we already alleviate a great deal of pain and suffering in the other person. We invoke your name, Manjushri. We aspire to learn your way, which is to be still and to look deeply into the heart of things and into the hearts of people. We will look with all our attention and open-heartedness. We will look with unprejudiced eyes. We will look without judging or reacting. We will look deeply so that we will be able to see and understand the roots of suffering and the impermanent and selfless nature of all that is. We will practice your way of using the sword of understanding to cut through the bonds of suffering, thus freeing ourselves and other species. We invoke your name, Samantabhadra. We aspire to practice your vow to act with the eyes and heart of compassion, to bring joy to one person in the morning and to ease the pain of one person in the afternoon. We know that the happiness of others is our own happiness, and we aspire to practice joy on the path of service. We know that every word, every look, every action, and every smile can bring happiness to others. We know that if we practice wholeheartedly, we ourselves may become an inexhaustible source of peace and joy for our loved ones and for all species. We invoke your name, Kashitagarbha. We aspire to learn your way of being present where there is darkness, suffering, oppression, and despair, so we can bring light, hope, relief, and liberation to those places. We are determined not to forget about or abandon those in desperate situations. We will do our best to establish contact with those who cannot find a way out of their suffering, those whose cries for help, justice, equality, and human rights are not being heard. We know that hell can be found in many places on earth. We will do our best not to contribute to creating more hells on earth, and we will help transform the hells that already exist. We will practice in order to realize the qualities of perseverance and stability, so that, like the earth, we can always be supportive and faithful to those in need. We invoke your name, Sadaparabhuta. We aspire to learn your way of looking deeply with the eyes of non-discrimination in order to see the true qualities of others. Whenever you meet anyone, you bow respectfully and say in appreciation, "I respect you deeply. You are a future Buddha." We vow to look deeply into ourselves to recognize the positive qualities that are there, to accept and to love ourselves. We vow only to water positive seeds in ourselves and in those around us. By doing so, our thoughts, words, and deeds will give rise to self-confidence and acceptance of ourselves, our children, grandchildren, and all those we know. We vow to look deeply with the eyes of non-discrimination to see that the joy and success of the other person is also our joy and success. We vow to behave and to speak with humility and respect. We vow to practice loving speech to help people who underestimate themselves see that they are wonders of the universe. We know that only when we are able to transcend the barriers of a separate self shall we be able to transform the superiority, inferiority, inequality complexes and realize true happiness and freedom.
Good morning, Sangha. This time I'd like to invite the incense lighters to come up. And please join us in the incense lighting Gatha, which is on page 2 of your handbook. In gratitude, we offer this incense throughout space and time to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. May it be fragrant as earth herself, reflecting careful efforts, wholehearted awareness, and the fruit of understanding slowly ripening. May we and all beings be companions of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. We awaken from forgetfulness and realize our true home. Good morning, Sangha. Happy Sunday. My name is Upaya, and I'm a Dharma teacher intern here at the temple. So is there anybody who's new here, first, second, third time? Wonderful. Well, welcome. Welcome. It's great to see you all. So quickly, some opening service courtesy announcements. So there are a couple restrooms up here. There's one downstairs, and there's a whole community room downstairs. So if you need a break or need let the kids run around a bit, there's downstairs. You can head back up. So we do ask that during service that if you need to get up and use a bathroom or something, to walk around the back, just to preserve the sense of space and to keep a clear line of view. So with that, let's stand up and greet each other with a bow. So we'll start service by reciting the three refuges, which are on page 3 of your book.
Grateful refuge to Buddha, my deeply awakened mind, the living source of understanding and compassion, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Dharma, the path of mindful living, leading to healing, joy, and enlightenment, the way of peace, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I go for refuge to Sangha, the loving and supportive community of practice, realizing harmony, awareness, and liberation, which must be cultivated to be known fully. I am aware that the three jewels are within my heart. I vow to realize them. I vow to practice mindful breathing and smiling, looking deeply into things. I vow to understand living beings and their suffering. I vow to cultivate loving kindness and compassion, and to practice joy and equanimity. I vow to offer joy to one person in the morning, and to help relieve the grief of one person in the afternoon. I vow to live simply and sanely, content with few possessions, and keep my body healthy. I vow to let go of all worry and anxiety in order to be light and free. I'm aware that I owe so much to my parents, teachers, friends, and all beings. I vow to be worthy of their trust, to practice wholeheartedly, so that understanding and compassion will flower, and I can help living beings be free from their suffering. The Dharma and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts. May the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha support my efforts.
And we bow. And please turn your page, and we'll recite the hearts of the Dharma.
Dharma, Prajna, Paramita, Hridaya, Sutra, Bodhisattva, of great compassion, from the deep practice of prajna, Paramita, perceive the emptiness of all five skandhas, and deliver all beings from their suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is emptiness, emptiness form. The same is true of feeling, thought, impulse, and consciousness. O Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They are not born nor annihilated. They are not defiled nor immaculate. They do not increase nor decrease. So in emptiness, no form, no feeling, no thought, no impulse, no consciousness. No eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. No form, sound, smell, taste, touch, or objects of mind. No realm of sight. No realm of consciousness. No ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance. No old age and death, nor extinction of them. No suffering, no cause of suffering. No cease from suffering. No path to lead out of suffering. No knowledge, no attainment, no realization, for there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva holds on to nothing but prajna, paramita. Therefore the mind is clear of any delusive hindrance. Without hindrance there is no fear. Away from all delusive views, one reaches final nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future, through faith in prajna, paramita, attain to the highest perfect enlightenment. Know then the prajna, paramita, is the great Dharani, the radiant fearless mantra, the utmost supreme mantra, which is capable of allaying all pain. This is true beyond all doubt. Proclaim now the highest wisdom, the prajna, paramita. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisvaha. Prajna, paramita, hridaya, sutra.
So let's talk about impermanence. So the theme of the talk today is the Five Remembrances. And so I have them printed and they're in the back of your guide. You can take them out. We'll be working with them today. So this is a part of my daily practice, is reciting the Five Remembrances. And the reason you cite the Five Remembrances is to slowly face your fear of impermanence. Everything changes, right? We all know that. But do you really accept it, right? Do you really accept it? And one of the things the Buddha taught was that only by facing this fear, the fear of impermanence, with the five examples of the remembrances, can you become light and free. That only by facing the fear and working with impermanence and accepting that this is just the way the world works. Not good, it's not bad. It's just the way it is. By working with that, it's very helpful. Like, anybody have a phobia? I've got a couple. So you can get rid of phobias. And the way you do that is you go to your therapist and say, hey, you know, I'm afraid of something like spiders. Like, okay, arachnophobia, we can fix you up. And so they send you through immersion therapy or exposure therapy, right? So the first thing they do is they show you a picture of a spider. Right? So they show you a picture, right? And you talk about it, and then they show you a video, and you get familiar with that. And you come one day and they show you a spider. You get to play with it, you know, you get to let it walk at you and whatnot. And I mean, if you're really afraid of these things, then, well, I mean, that's a big step. And I'll put that here. And lastly, kind of your graduation is they'll bring like a real tarantula and let it walk around, right? Which I didn't bring with me today, thank you. But yeah, I mean, it's through exposure, through working with these things that you begin to let out. Now, spiders are there, unless you live like in Australia, then they're like everywhere, but you don't see them that often. But these remembrances, impermanence is everywhere, like all the time. Now, there's another phobia that's worse, and that's agoraphobia. Anybody have that? That's where you're afraid to go outside. And that there's something about the open space or all of that. And that's how people become shut-ins, that you don't leave your house. And I think of the fear of impermanence and the Five Remembrances as being something like that. Could you live your life, you know, locked up in your house? Yeah, I guess people do it. But that's really a limited, narrow way to live. So let's take a look at the five remembrances. We can just read through them, then I'll go through them and talk about them. So the five remembrances are, I am subject to aging. There's no way to avoid aging. I'm subject to ill health. There's no way to avoid illness. I will die. Like my buddy, the dead mouse in the closet. If you're wondering what that smell is, that's the dead mouse. Which I did not bring today. He just spontaneously joined his ancestors this weekend. And the fourth, right. The fourth one is, everyone and everything I love will change, and I will be separated from them. And the fifth is a little bit different. It's, my only true possessions are my actions, and there's no way to avoid their consequences. We'll spend some time on that. So first one's aging. Well, I'm reminded of that every time I stand up and sit down on the cushion. Yoga helps, but only so much, right? That's a constant reminder to me. And another reminder was we had a tree fall when my wife and I were traveling in the Southwest for 2 months. When I came back, there was a windstorm, and like we had a 100-foot tree, and it snapped the top 30 feet off. And it kind of landed half in the lawn and half in the forest. I'm like, oh, great. I'll get some exercise, get my chainsaw, and I'll just cut it up this afternoon. Well, I'll tell you this, after an hour and a half, that saw got really heavy. I'm like, well, what's going on? It's like, oh, when's the last time I did this? Well, that was about 5 years ago in the pandemic. I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I'm only doing it for an hour and a half today, and then I'll piece it. It's the aging is it's a slow changing of capabilities. There's aging and becoming stronger, and there's aging, well, beginning senior. But yeah, it's getting used to, well, I can't do the things I used to do anymore, or not as much of them, right? And that's just part of life. So I have a tree guy, Dave, I call. I won't drop trees. I won't get on chainsaw with the trees. So maybe in a couple of years, I'm going to start sending Dave a little more money to go cut the trees up that fell. So maybe that's 5 years from now, I won't be doing that either. But it's everything's changes, right? It's making your peace with the fact that no matter what age you are, there's things you can't do anymore, or can't do as much of, right? So I remember that. The second is illness. Yep, everybody gets sick. Sometimes for a little bit, then you do recover. Sometimes for longer, and sometimes not at all, right? And so that's hard to do with too. It's like, why me, right? Well, why not me? Everybody goes through that, especially living with chronic illness. That you have days I can do things, days that I do less of stuff. And so, yeah, it's just, that's part of life. And getting out of the mode of why me, why now, why this, why someone I love, just happened, right? And that is part of it. And it's just things that can help with that are Tonglen, which is kind of sharing the pain and the grief and transforming it. The breathing in and remembering that you're not the only one going through it, that many people are going through something very similar, right? And it's an opportunity for compassion. And again, just getting used to this, getting used to the idea. The third one is death. Sometimes we think of it as, the Grim Reaper, or Lord Yama, the Indian version of the Grim Reaper, as this waiting for us at the end of a long road. Yeah, that can be true. I turned 60 last year, so for me, statistically, that's the fourth quarter of the game. You're in the fourth quarter of the game. Maybe to be some overtime. Maybe it's a little shorter than that, but yeah, I got 20 years left. My mom passed at 62, and my dad is still kicking at a 91. So I figure that's somewhere in between there. This is my number. Well, yeah. Yeah, and especially, being a senior, I see some seniors in the Sangha, is that it sneaks in and becomes more of a daily topic of conversation. That somebody's brother is ill and he just passed. Okay, so when's the service? And I think back to when I was a kid, I'd go visit my grandparents. My grandmother they had the paper they read in the morning. They read the headlines. My grandfather grabbed the sports page. And my grandmother grabbed the obituaries. I'm like, why? Then I realized that's how she planned her week. Like, I remember Elmer. Yeah, Elmer passed. Yeah, I mean, and his wake is on Thursday. But wait a minute, don't we have Aunt Ernie on Tuesday? It's like, well, let's just make a double batch and we'll bring it to both. And they would plan their week around the different viewings that they would be going to. Yeah, and I remember just being pole struck by that. But now I have friends now in the 60s, 70s, 80s who start talking like that too. It just becomes more of a topic of conversation. So at my stage of the game, it's time to make pastime to make peace with your mortality. But also, I mean, everything goes, everything passes. And it's just the other side of things coming to life. We look outside, we see the plants and the blooms starting to come through. Like Thich Nhat Hanh says, the cycle of birth and death is achieved in every moment. Your cells go, they come back. The flowers come, the cherry blossoms fall, and that's just life, right? And the more you can sit with that and not be surprised by it and just accept it. Only by accepting that can you say, oh, great, I got 20 years left. Awesome. Right. It's like, oh, I only got 20. No, I got 20. That's good. The next one is everyone and everything I love will change, and I will be separated from them. And that goes both ways, right? And I think of that as just the people and situations that come and enter your life. You have a new job, and then you lose the job. Okay. Or you have a new friend, and then they move away. There's just this constant flow of people and things and projects in your life, right? Somebody asked me one time, well, how do you love deeply knowing that you're going to lose something? Well, what else is there to love, right? You have a pet. That a cat or a dog, you get a kitten, get a puppy. What's that, 10, 15 years? The moment you get your pet that you're going to have to say goodbye. And more than likely, you're going to be the one that tells the vet to put them down, right? Does that mean you love less? No. If anything, knowing that you will lose, and people will lose you too, every moment and every day becomes a bit more precious, right? If you know for a fact that you're going deaf, like tomorrow, rather than slowly, you go and you'd listen to all the stuff, right? Or you're going blind, you go out. So knowing that you're going to lose something makes the days and the experiences more precious, right? The last one is a little bit different. The last one is, my only true possessions are my actions, and there's no way to avoid their consequences. Well, why would that be a fear, right? Well, how much time do you spend running away from things that you've done in the past? If not physically, then running away in your mind. It's like, I don't want to think about that. I was a real jerk. I hurt somebody who I didn't mean to, inadvertently. And yeah, all these things accumulate over time. So this is karma, that the positive things, the skillful things, the not so skillful things, they have effects. What you do is important. What you think is important because what you think is in your speech and your action. So all the things that you do during the day are important. And this is just telling you that. And why is it a fear? Well, that can be, to really sit and to really realize that all the little interactions you're doing can change things, change somebody's life for the better or the worse. Well, that means you have to pay attention then, right? So there's not running away from the things that you've done in the past that you may regret. They're there. You can't fix that, but what you can do is commit yourself to doing things that are wholesome and things that are good. And karma will catch up. This life, next. It'll catch up with you. And so these really are the 5 remembrances, ways of working through impermanence. So you can embrace it, you can accept it as just the way that life is, and focus on all the wonderful things that are happening in your life right now. So before we go into meditation, let's read those 5 together as a sangha. The Five Remembrances. I am subject to aging. There's no way to avoid aging. I am subject to ill health. There's no way to avoid illness. I will die. There is no way to avoid death. Everyone and everything I love will change, and I will be separated from them. My only true possessions are my actions, and there's no way to avoid their consequences. Please prepare yourself for meditation. First, take your seat. Feel the connection between your body, the cushion, and the earth, supported by the earth. Next, take your hands and put them in your lap. And breathe. Breathing in. I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know I'm breathing out. And count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If when your mind wanders off, bring it back. And breathe. This time we'll share some experiences that we have in the Sangha in joys and concerns. So there'll be a microphone going around. Hey, Changasu. So who wants to go first?
Good morning, Sangha. My name's Kate Arambo, and I'm just really happy to be here today and grateful that you are one of our Dharma teachers. Thank you.
My name is Ellen, and I saw a red-winged blackbird this morning, which is always a big flag for springtime for me, so very happy with that.
Good morning, Sangha. My name is Max. A joy that I would like to share is that last week I have been officially accepted into the School of Social Work at Grand Valley State University. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just very excited to see what my schooling journey will look like from here. Thank you.
Hello, Sangha. My name is Smirti, and the joy that I'd like to share today is that yesterday my wife and I went down and participated in the New Kings rally, and it was just incredible. There were like many thousands of people, and the energy was just really incredible. So.
Morning, Sangha. My name is Carly. I have a couple of joys. One is I woke up to the sunshine today. I haven't woken up to the sunlight in a long time, just naturally. So that was just, I can't really describe it because it hasn't happened in a long time. And also, I saw a friend this weekend, a couple friends actually, that, the timing was really great, but also just to be with people and be present with people that I care about that I haven't seen in a long time, to be open with them, to share, pain genuinely, is a true gift. One of my friends, she and her husband built a sauna in their backyard in Ann Arbor, and it was amazing to sit in there. We did 2 rounds, and I just feel like I shed a lot of toxins this week. So that is one of my joys as well. Thank you.
Good morning, Sangha. I'm Ananda Pulabhava. My concern is, so for the last 2.5 weeks, I was put on the Overseas Citizens Task Force, trying to help citizens in the Middle East get out. And as that experience, I got to speak first. So you can watch the news and learn about war, or I had the opportunity to hear people firsthand and the oppression, marginalization, the things that are going, people suffering. And the reality of it was most people that I talked to are like 22-year-old US citizens that went to Israel to go to college, to like work on their career, young mothers, and they're just terrified and they can't get out and they're not receiving support that's necessary, or it's terrifying because they can't go to Egypt because they're religious reasons. It was just so much. It was a really painful experience. But it also taught me to hold space for other people, right? On the other side of that, last Friday, I celebrated 2.5 years sober. So it was a huge milestone. And as a way to celebrate that, I thought I'd find something to do. And so I looked up, I went to the Wealthy Theater and to the Annex Theater to this play, a 2-person play. I never experienced a 2-person small play like that before. It's called A Number, and it is really good. Anyone that's into plays, I encourage you to check that out because it was a wonderful experience. And I discovered I really like that stuff. I think I'm going to continue doing that more of that.
Good morning. My name's Isaac. Craig Shear just reminded me I have 6 months sober a couple days ago. So.
Hi, Sangha. My name's Vanessa, and my joy this morning is that my son is learning to meditate. His dad is also teaching him how to meditate, and so am I. So I'm really, grateful for that, and I am filled with joy. Do you want to say something?
And I just bought this toy like 3 weeks ago. I just got it.
Are you grateful?
Yeah.
Are you grateful? Okay.
Any from online?
Good morning, Sangha. My name is Amam Prava, or no, it's not even that. It's Aham Prama. My concern is that I recognize that I may actually be dissociating, right? And I'm like, that's a new psychological phenomena for me. So I'm mildly concerned that I'm actually dissociating. My joy is that I started this group called Knitting Through the End of Days, Crafting Through the Apocalypse. And we meet sometimes all over the place. We met in Montague yesterday to do some knitting and just some felling in the apocalypse. And lo and behold, there was also a No Kings protest in Montague. And lo and behold, it's a river shed. So it's like my life is so rich because here I get to knit with these folks. I get to contemplate impermanence. I get to have a protest in the cutest town ever on a watershed. It's joyful. Yeah. Maybe I'm not dissociated.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Chungo Su. I live in Lowell, and I'm pretty involved trying to resist a 300-acre Microsoft data center that's an AI data center that's being installed or trying to be installed there. And I was able to participate at the Lowell Expo yesterday, and it was awesome just to talk with neighbors. And there's so much support against that development for a number of different reasons, and just very positive. Overwhelmingly, 95% of the people, were in opposition. So hopefully that message can be elevated. But
so we have a couple from online. First is from Amy. She says, Joy, yesterday I participated in the No Kings rally. I heard there were more than 9 million people around the globe who participated. The joy of everyone at the event filled my cup and was hopeful as the joy from everyone else was so pleasant to see. I blew kisses to everyone, including those who I disagree with, which was a reminder to have compassion for those I don't see eye to eye with. Only love can thaw hate. We have another one. Oh, sorry. We have another one from Michael. He said, I would like to share the joy that I am 61 and I will connect with the intention and consequences of my actions more intentionally, and am thankful for the capacity to do so in life.
take a few moments to hold these intentions in our hearts. Okay, temple announcements. So in April, there's an introduction to meditation from the Tibetan perspective. It's being led by Reverend Z or Ikisu. And that is Saturday, April 18th, and that's in the morning from 9 to 12. So that's a wonderful thing to go to if you're new to meditation, or if you're interested also in a refresh with Tibetan perspective as well. Next there's a spring retreat. Our spring silent retreat is Saturday, April 25th, and that's from 9 to 4. If you've not been on a retreat, stop on by. Yeah, it's like an all-day thing, and there's walking. We'll do a lunch retreat, mindful eating. We'll do there's some lectures, but it's about 5 hours of sitting and walking meditation. So that's a great day. What else is going on? There's an online meditation group that we have every Wednesday. That's hosted online by Kunga, and that's from 6 to 6:45. Thursday Dharma discussion group with Ryan. And that is Thursday morning here at the temple at 9:30 to 11. And they are reading and discussing Zen and the Art of Saving the Planet by Thich Nhat Hanh. There's the Buddhist Mutual Aid Society, which is the second Sunday in April. And that's led by Venerable Sunshin. There's a Grand Rapids Buddhist board meeting. I think that's the middle of April. Let's see what else. The Buddhist Mutual Aid Food Pantry. There is an aid pantry that's downstairs. And so reading this, that the Mutual Aid Society has started the pantry for the Sangha located downstairs. If you go downstairs to join us for tea afterwards, you can see the cabinet that they have things that either give. If you have something extra, you can donate, or if you have a need, you can take. And then the Buddhist-based recovery meetings, which are Mondays, 6:30, meditation, 7 o'clock meeting at the temple. Wednesdays, it's 6:30 at the Al-Anon Club, or Al-Anon Club. Fridays, it's 10:05 meditation and a 10:30 meeting here at the temple, or joined by a Zoom. Contact on the Filo for details, or see the newsletter. And lastly, there's a temple cleaning is next Sunday, April 5th, from 10 till 11:30. If you have time, please come. So that's April 5th. And with that, there is a Donna announcement, and that's where that was going.
You know how testy I get when you forget me.
I won't forget.
My name is Ellen. In our practice, the word Dana means generosity, and there are like a million different ways to incorporate that into your daily life here at the temple, because everything happens because someone has donated their time, some articles that we might need here, and of course, money. We have a wonderful organized group called Dharma Disciples, and you just want to be in it because that's a cool name. Right. Very organized, easy to get into. Jeremy Ashton would gladly help you. There are things like somebody needs to greet the door every day. Someone needs to do this every Sunday. Clean the temple. help with potlucks, and so on. It's all categorized. It's easy to get into. There's your name. There's the date. This is what you're available to do and when you are. So there's no excuse not to help out. So I'm just holding you to that.
No
Also,
good excuse.
so sometimes we need toilet paper and that kind of stuff. And John is the man that sort of taking care of that thing. So check with him sometime. We don't want to get a whole closet full of toilet paper and then we have no tea bags. So we try to keep it evened out. Also, of course, the lights need to go on every day. Pretty soon we'll be turning the air on and so on. So financially supporting the temple is very important. We have Dana boxes on the end of the hall. Each one will take cash or cash or check. Each one also has a QR code, takes you right to PayPal. If you're watching on YouTube today, there's a drop-down menu, also will take you to PayPal. And also, last but not least, I know you're sad to see me go, but if you go to the website zengr.org, there's another donate button for you. I mean, it's just that easy. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And with that, let's stand and recite our closing gathas. Which are on page 6. For all
Skillful actions ever committed by me since of old, on account of my beginningless greed and anger and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thoughts, now I atone for them all. Vast is the robe of compassion, a formless field of benefaction. I wear the Buddhist teachings for the benefit of all sentient beings. All beings, one body, I vow to liberate. Endless blind passion, I vow to uproot. Dharma gates without number, I vow to enter. The great way of Buddha, I vow to attain.
And in closing, the left side of the wall, bow to the right side of the wall. Thank you all for coming. We have a few minutes. We'll have tea downstairs.